I personally don't like to see guys take punishment, especially at the latter part of their career, because again, a piece of you is always left when you step out of that ring. Every time you go into the ring, you're not the same person that comes out. I don't care who you are.
This camera. If Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather gets made, it does more than Terence Crawford Canelo on Netflix.
Oh wow!
Clip that.
He pulled out a good. I don't know if he interviewed Floyd or it's just his imagination, but it's something that has people talking about. So it's going to be a great fight.
Leonard Ellerbe has cautioned Floyd Mayweather against stepping back into the ring with Manny Pacquiao, stressing that boxing is an unforgiving sport where a single punch can alter a fighter's entire future. He emphasized that at this stage in Mayweather's career, the priority should be safeguarding health and preserving financial security, not chasing risky fights. According to Ellerbe, once a legacy is firmly established, there's nothing left to prove. Instead, older fighters should focus on enjoying life, not exposing themselves to unnecessary danger.
Do what's best for him. If he feels as though the time is now to walk away, but I personally don't like to see guys take punishment, especially at the latter part of their career, because again, a piece of you is always left when you step out of that ring. Every time you go into the ring, you're not the same person that comes out. I don't care who you are. And boxing is a brutal sport, and all it takes is, one punch here, and again, your whole life is completely changed. And the key is to get in this sport and to become successful, meaning fight the best guys that are out there, and then make a lot of money, and then be able to go out and do whatever it is you want to do. Obviously, being in a position to take care of your family. That's what it's all about.
In a rare public statement, Floyd Mayweather's son voiced his opposition to the idea of his father returning for a rematch against Manny Pacquiao. Though he didn't mention Pacquiao by name, his words reflected a deep concern for his father's health and well-being. He believes Floyd has already accomplished everything he needs to in boxing and has nothing left to prove. His stance isn't about avoiding competition but about protecting someone he loves. It's a powerful reminder that for families of retired fighters, the focus often shifts from legacy and glory to long-term health and peace of mind.
Ron. I don't know. You gotta ask him.
One question.
No.
One question.
Everybody's older.
Can you put another shrimp on the box?
Manny Pacquiao has made it clear he's ready to face anyone, including Floyd Mayweather, if the chance presents itself. He urged Mayweather to sign the contract if he's truly serious about coming out of retirement. Pacquiao's message is direct. He's confident, in shape, and believes there's unfinished business between them. The call-out reflects the mindset of a fighter who still trusts in his abilities and wants to even the score. With recent showings proving he still has fire, Pacquiao isn't waiting. He's issuing a challenge.
To coax Floyd Mayweather out, and maybe you guys get a rematch right here in this same building. Do you feel like that this version of you beats the version of Floyd Mayweather that exists today?
It's hard to talk about the fighter who retired already. If he comes out and go sign the contract and we'll fight. Let's fight again if he wants. I have no problem with that. I'm active now. I don't pick my opponent. I don't, I fight them all.
WBC President Mauricio Suleiman offered a diplomatic take on the potential Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch. He praised Mayweather's legendary legacy and noted that boxing doesn't require him to fight again. However, he acknowledged that if public demand continues to grow, the rematch could become a reality. His comments highlight the business side of boxing, where fan interest often drives decisions. While Floyd may not need to return, overwhelming support from fans could be the spark that reignites the fight.
But can you see a scenario where, say, Floyd, who's held the WBC titles many over his career, maybe gets tempted out of retirement for a Manny Pacquiao rematch?
What do you say?
I say he doesn't need to fight again, but I also would definitely come and watch. So I'm sort of like,
You'll come and watch. We have to see what happens Saturday, first of all. Of course, Floyd is legendary, just as Manny. There's no issue there. But you cannot skip. There's Barrios before, and Lance is a great journalist. I think he pulled out a good. I don't know if he interviewed Floyd or it's just his imagination, but it's something that has people talking about. So it's going to be a great fight.
Pacquiao's recent interviews and social media activity reveal a clear and growing desire to face Floyd Mayweather again. He genuinely believes he can win a rematch and rewrite the narrative. His confidence is fueled by his recent performances, particularly in the Barrios fight. Driven by a sense of unfinished business, Pacquiao sees a second bout as a chance to correct past mistakes and further solidify his legacy. His tone has evolved, from merely considering the idea to actively pursuing it.
Would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness. Tell me about that fight a little bit. Being in there with Floyd being in there with you, like what was the experience like being there? In the ring, fighting him finally.
It's good, but despite all those things, after the fight, right after the fight, I went to the hospital and got operated. And
Yeah, you got an operation.
Yeah.
I remember you posted a picture of him.
Really hurt.
Was he better or worse than you thought he was?
No, that's his style. Like I knew it, but the thing is, I'm expecting that I won the fight because he didn't throw a lot of punches. I throw a lot of punches, and I reviewed the comfy box like slow motion from first round to 12 rounds. Like how many punches get connected and how many punches of him he connected. You know, that's boxing.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining or making that. Just it happened that way. It happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch, Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he's going to fight.
Would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness.
Even here.
Yeah, that fire never dies, man.
My right hand is complete. So
Boxing analyst Chris Algieri shared a balanced and insightful take on the rematch rumors. While he noted that the fight isn't a certainty, he emphasized it's far from impossible. Algieri believes Pacquiao's recent performance against Barrios has reignited fan interest and momentum. He pointed out that Pacquiao's drive, conditioning, and determination could be the deciding factors in drawing Mayweather back into the ring. Algieri's perspective adds weight to the growing belief that a second showdown may be more likely than ever.
Listen, if Floyd's talking about coming back, you know.
And that's what I wanted to touch on. Do you think that this now warrants Floyd Mayweather with his competitive spirit and attitude to come back and maybe try to one-up Manny Pacquiao by beating him again?
That wouldn't surprise me at all because I know how Floyd is when it comes to, you know, seeing other people doing their thing. He's like, that's Chris. You know, so I think that's a really good possibility of happening. But again, that's going to come down to Floyd and Manny. I think they're both in the driver's seat. Floyd's always in the driver's seat, you know? Hey, sir, how are you?
Even before Manny Pacquiao stepped into the ring with Mario Barrios, talk of a potential rematch with Floyd Mayweather was already circulating. A win, many believed, would set the stage, and now that the fight is done, fan demand has surged. With projected revenue exceeding $1 billion, the financial stakes are enormous. Given both fighters' legendary careers and loyal global followings, a second showdown could eclipse recent super fights in both global impact and commercial success. The momentum is undeniably building.
So breaking news, Floyd Mayweather vs. Manny Pacquiao 2 is in talks to happen next if Pacquiao beats Mario Barrios. And Mayweather is expected to be ringside for Pacquiao's fight on Saturday night. And according to reports, the rematch could be the first ever fight to generate over $1 billion, and that would lure Mayweather out of retirement. Now, I definitely saw this coming. You know, Manny's coming out of retirement after 4 years, of course because he's passionate about the sport, and Barrios is a world champion, so it's a legacy fight. But there's bigger name opponents Manny can't fight, and the biggest of them all is definitely Floyd Mayweather. I mean, their first fight generated 4.6 million pay-per-view buys, did over $600 million in revenue, including pay-per-views and ticket sales and sponsorships. And even though the fight didn't live up to expectations, it could still be a massive fight. You know, 2 to 3 million pay-per-views right now. or you could put it on Netflix and hundreds of millions of people would watch it worldwide. So if Manny can pull off the upset against Mario Barrios and become WBC champion on Saturday, don't be shocked if these two negotiations really start to heat up and then the fight gets made shortly after.
Former champion Sean Porter offers a contrasting perspective, believing the Mayweather-Pacquiao saga ended in 2015 and should remain closed. He sees a potential rematch as more nostalgic spectacle than meaningful competition. Porter argues that rising fighters with more to prove could deliver greater excitement. In his view, both Mayweather and Pacquiao deserve respect for their legendary careers, not pressure to return for a fight that could risk tarnishing their legacies. For Porter, the focus should stay on celebrating their past, not reviving it.
Listen, we've seen Manny on the end of bad decisions before. Timothy Bradley, excuse me. Jeff Warren fight. Shout out to Tim. I know how you feel about that. But this is what he's got to deal with. You can't go through a camp, do what you just did right there. We saw all the heart, everything that we've always seen from Manny, and this is the result. Shout out to Mario. He made the fight difficult just from being a big guy who is a better boxer than I realized. Came to the ring with a true game plan to try to box and be patient, find openings and things of that nature. I don't think that Mario did enough to win. I don't think he did enough for a draw. I think that there was a lot more that he could have done. But the main thing is the style that he chose to box was actually a good style to use against Manny Pacquiao. They were saying that they were going to come right to the middle of the ring, and they did. But they came to the middle of the ring, and then they circled, they moved, they worked behind the jabs. Not enough jabs, not enough of everything for Mario. So I really don't agree with the draw. All that said, y'all know I got to say the rest. One more?
Should Manny fight younger guys still? Like, should he fight a Tank? Should he fight a Rolly? Or should he rematch Floyd?
I don't think y'all want to see him with Floyd. Do y'all? I don't know. I'm feeling like the world, because it's Manny Pacquiao, it makes sense for it to be Floyd Mayweather. I don't know. I thought yesterday you were poking.
Online debates have intensified as fans revisit the legendary careers of both Mayweather and Pacquiao. A key focus is Pacquiao's unmatched accomplishment of winning titles in 8 weight divisions, an achievement fueling belief he could have the edge in a rematch. Supporters are weighing legacy, recent performances, and fighting styles to predict the outcome. Pacquiao's history of battling top-tier opponents across multiple divisions strengthens the case that he's still a serious threat, even to someone as skilled and calculated as Floyd Mayweather.
So is Floyd Mayweather greater than Manny Pacquiao? I always get this question. If you know me, you know my answer. Floyd is not greater than Pacquiao, and Pacquiao has him beat by a really good margin in my opinion. Let's talk about it. If your argument is Floyd beat Pacquiao, throw it out the window. Every single boxer in history has lost damn near. It's like saying Buster Douglas is greater than Mike Tyson. If your argument is Manny lost in his career and Floyd didn't, I would disagree with that type of logic, but if that's the case, you got to put all the undefeated fighters at the top. Bud, Inoue, Usyk, Kazagi, all those guys should be in your top 5. I like Floyd. I like Floyd a little bit more than Manny. I'm not going to lie. Manny's a bit chaotic at times. I don't like that. I like sweet, smooth-looking boxing. But let's speak objectively here. If we're talking about in terms of career, whose career will be more harder to replicate? It's going to be Manny Pacquiao, and it's by a really good margin. Now, Floyd's most impressive feats, you look at him, he's a, 5 division champion. He's beaten 23 world champions. He's been in how many title fights? You know, Floyd has an amazing career. I'm not saying that it can be done. It probably will never be done again. But I could see somebody doing that before they do what Manny did. And that's why I have Manny as the greatest boxer of all time. Just not based off ability. When you look at the guys that Manny beat, the reason why he got the 2000s Fighter of the Decade over Floyd Mayweather, the reason why he got Fighter of the Year 3 years in a row, almost 4 years in a row. Yes, Manny lost. Manny fought more world champions than Floyd, though. We don't speak on that. Then you get into the 8 weight division. These are only the 8 he won titles in. Manny Pacquiao fought through, I want to say, 10 or 11 different weight divisions. If you want to speak on the lineal titles, I want to say he holds the most lineals of all time with like 5 or 6. Youngest lineal flyweight, oldest welterweight champion. It's insane. The youngest lineal fly is also the oldest welterweight champion. I like Floyd. Floyd's my number 2 all time. This isn't a diss to Floyd, but Manny I believe objectively is the greatest fighter above Ali, above Floyd, above Duran, above Leonard, above everybody. I think he has a career that is absolutely impossible to replicate. When Floyd was picking on guys like Andre Berto and Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao beat the undefeated young active champion and Keith Thurman to join the pound for pound at 40 years of age while being a senator. He's the greatest boxer of all time.
NFL player Cam Binham joined the growing chorus praising Manny Pacquiao's recent form. For Binham, it's less about who Pacquiao faces and more about the energy Manny brings to the ring. Whether it's Floyd or a rising star, he simply wants to see Pacquiao compete again. Binham highlighted the passion and intensity Manny still carries, which has reignited excitement among fans. It shows how one strong performance can shift public sentiment. Pacquiao doesn't need a revenge story, just the stage to prove he's still got it.
Break down the fight. I thought Manny won myself. What did you see? How did you see the fight?
Alright, so obviously I'm a Manny fan, but I'm going to try and keep it non-biased as possible. It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Both had moments, but I think overall Manny did more. I think his punches were more effective, more active. So even on top of that, just the ability for him to go the 12 rounds and do what he was able to do, but be more active every single round. I feel like Barrios picked it up the last few rounds, but I still don't believe that was enough. Manny started fast and he sustained pretty much, kind of let his foot off the gas towards the end, but I still thought, in my opinion, it was enough to win the fight to where I don't see how even the one judge got the decision towards the Barrios.
Manny told me he thought he won 8-4, even if it's 7-5. But the draw was surprising. At least they didn't rob him. But do you want to see a rematch? Do you see Mayweather? Do you want to see Rolly? I mean, Manny told me he likes the Rolly fight, I think.
I just want to see Manny. I want to see him in the ring. It doesn't matter who, because I know whoever he fights, it'll be an exciting fight. Obviously, the Floyd one will be big, and that, blow up the whole boxing world again. But I just think overall, I want to see Manny in the ring, and I think anybody who has signed a contract with Manny knows what they're going into. It isn't going to be one of those boring fights where they're running. It's going to be, combative, and they're going to be standing in the middle of the ring and fight. I think, especially like what Manny was saying, it took 2 months for this fight. He has a little more. It's going to look even better. Regardless of the
4 years
loss,
old, 46 years old. He looked amazing. He didn't lose. It's a draw.
And he fought really well. It was clean. There's nothing. It was just clean. It was a complete fight. But kudos to Barrios for keeping him, keeping it close.
Respect, he's a champion.
Speculation around a second clash between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao is reaching a boiling point. Insiders and fans alike believe that, among all potential legacy matchups, this one stands the best chance of becoming reality. While upcoming mega fights like Canelo vs. Crawford promise action, Mayweather-Pacquiao 2 offers something more: history, rivalry, and raw emotional weight. It wouldn't just be a fight, it would be a global spectacle. The rivalry itself remains a heated topic. Longtime followers still argue over who truly delayed the first bout. Historical accounts suggest Mayweather pulled out twice, while Pacquiao withdrew once, fueling a blame game that remains unresolved. This back and forth has added layers to the story, keeping fans divided and emotionally invested. Many feel the first encounter didn't deliver closure, making the idea of a rematch all the more compelling. In a sport constantly evolving, nothing commands attention like two living legends meeting one final time to settle unfinished business and write the definitive final chapter.
Manny Pacquiao has criticised Floyd Mayweather for running in their fight, which was meant to be the fight of the century, and kind of flopped in most people's eyes. This is according to Boxing Kingdom. He said Floyd Mayweather was running for the whole 12 rounds and he won the fight. How is that even possible? I feel sorry for the fans because the fight was boring. That's not what the fans expect from us. If I am a fan, of course, I want to see a good fight and not a fashion show. Now I get it, Manny Pacquiao lost the biggest fight of his career. He lost a fight that may have put him in conversation for the best boxer of all time. And I want to know your opinions on whether Floyd Mayweather did run for the entirety of that fight. In my opinion though, Floyd Mayweather did not run in that fight. He fought tactically, he fought very, very clever. He counter-punched Manny Pacquiao. It wasn't like a Devin Haney performance where he was skating around the outside of the ring. You can see that there was bouts in that fight where Floyd Mayweather was setting up counter-punches and landing combinations himself. I think Manny Pacquiao, he's just a little bit hurt that he lost the biggest fight of his career, really. But there's no excuses there. Manny Pacquiao could have adapted his game. Floyd Mayweather was too defensive Manny Pacquiao could have overwhelmed him with barrages of punches. The problem is that Manny Pacquiao wasn't able to do that because Floyd Mayweather was too clever and his counter-punching was too good on the night that Manny Pacquiao would likely have been knocked out if he put more pressure on than he already did. But let me know your opinions on the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight. Did Floyd Mayweather run around for the entirety of the fight, or was it just very, very poor planning and a poor game plan from Manny Pacquiao? Let me know in the comments. As always, like, favourite, save and share, all appreciated. For more boxing content, hit the follow button. Peace out.
The 2015 showdown between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao was billed as the fight of the century, but ultimately fell short of expectations. Instead of the explosive battle fans had long anticipated, the bout turned into a defensive clinic, leaving many underwhelmed. Both fans and analysts criticized the lack of action, with boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. even suggesting that Floyd shouldn't take much pride in that victory. For many, the fight failed to provide the closure they had hoped for after years of build-up. Now, a potential rematch is seen not just as a final shot at redemption, but as a chance to deliver the electrifying clash that never happened. It's about restoring what was lost and rewriting the legacy of one of boxing's most storied rivalries.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao. Of course, that's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game. But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever. When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business world it is, because look how much money.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned. Goodbye.